Salutations fam, DarkslayerArim here. I'm finally getting around to recording my advanced arena guide. There's a lot of myths going around regarding the arena. One of the most common being that you need to run double distant counter, unoptimally built, plus 10 armor units. I'm here to tell you that isn't true. I'm here to tell you what you do need. And first off, truth is, base stat total isn't nearly as important as many of us believe. And you legitimately can use whoever you want to succeed in the arena at the absolute highest level. When I first managed to stay in tier 20, I wasn't using armors or a team of plus 10 units. I wasn't using a core of 3 melee infantry units or armor units or anything like that. I was using low base stat total mages. My Nino was my only plus 10 at the time, my Lilina was plus 7, my Noe was plus 3, and my bonus unit was unmerged. In tier 21, I'm still using these same units. And I still have not reached my score cap with these units. Since this guide was originally written as a tier 20 guide, I'll go into detail on that first. But since tier 21 is out, and I've had a few weeks to play in that meta, I'll cover tier 21 as well. So, you want to finally break out of tier 19.5 and move towards staying in tier 20. Do you want to stay in tier 20 consistently? Well, here's what you'll need to be able to do in the current meta. You need to be ranked within the top 6,000 at the end of the season. You need to be able to produce a score of 3670 or higher, or 734 per battle. If your team can produce a score of 734 per battle, you can stay in tier 20. Keep in mind though, you can have a score of 734, but if that's your score cap, it's very unlikely you'll get that score often, so you end up blowing through a huge amount of dual crest to regularly get that score. To minimize this, I recommend you use a team with a score cap of 738 or higher. If you're not sure what your team's score range is, I've linked the arena score calculator in the description. Now, while it is easier to get into the higher tiers than many of us believe, it's still a great achievement, as only about 0.5% of the player base occupies a higher level arena. Now, we've established the criteria to meet. Now what can you do to help give yourself that extra boost and improve your arena performance? A lot of people know the various things you can use to boost your score, but aren't actually aware of how much individual things affect your score. First up, we're going to talk about blessings. If your unit has a blessing and a matching legendary hero for the season, your unit's arena score will be boosted by 8 points. However, due to the changing season, this isn't consistently reliable. But if you happen to luck out with the seasons, by all means, take advantage of this to bump your score up easily. Merges. There's 2 things that every unit has to follow in order to stay in tier 20. Merges is one of them, because each merge boosts your unit's arena score by approximately 4 points. Every unit can take advantage of this. If you want to be able to stay in the higher tiers, you need to have units that are heavily merged. For now, we're going to talk about unit builds. Just give your unit ether. Now we're going to talk about what to look for when choosing your units for the arena. I'm kidding, we're going back to unit builds. Unit builds are the other half of what your unit needs to do in order to stay in the higher tiers. Your unit's build and their merges are what determines their ability to keep you in tier 20 and tier 21. While there is some restriction in regards to what skills you run, there's a lot more freedom than you think. You can create an optimal build for your unit, but you want to use skills that are tier 2 or higher in most cases. If you don't know what tier your skills are, there's a skill tier list in the description as well. If your unit can refine their weapon. If your unit has an exclusive weapon, use the exclusive weapon. Now we're going to talk about the bonus unit mechanic. For every kill you get in the arena with a bonus unit, your score is boosted by 3 points, for a maximum of 12 points per battle, and 60 points per run. This mechanic allows you to significantly boost your rank even if you aren't actually at the needed score range. We all know that every death lowers your score. You might think that you can use the bonus kill mechanic to make up for a death, but this isn't possible, as every death drops your score by about 70 points. With the maximum you can boost your score being 60 points per run, it isn't worth it to try and force bonus unit kills if it will result in the death of one of your teammates. Now we're going to talk about what to look for when choosing your units for the arena. First off, you're going to need a bonus unit, and if you want to have a consistent bonus unit, you can invest into the Asker trio, but I personally recommend investing into the Grand Hero Battle units, as they are also consistently in the bonus unit rotation. The difference though, they can be merged, and as we specified earlier, merging your units is the way to go if you want to boost your score. And while it isn't nearly the be-all end-all, base stat total is a large factor in determining your unit's arena score, so high BST units are ideal. Now, let me clarify. They are not the only way to get a high score, but they are the easiest way to get a high score. The lower your unit's base stat total, the more you will need to invest in other areas. To put it into perspective, the score range needed to stay in tier 21 is about 742 per battle. The lowest BST units in the game, you know those seasonal dancers, they can reach a score range of 744. So they can reach that score range and then some. On the topic of base stat total, if your core team all have a 156 base stat total or higher, your chances of encountering ranged units drops down significantly. So if you hate fighting Horse Emblem, this is something to look into. Armored units yield the most reward, but they also require extremely heavy investment. Due to their movement limitations, you're going to need to have a large pool of support behind them. But due to the fact that you need to invest so heavily into units regardless, they're an extremely popular pick. In regards to heavy investment, considering that merges are the most consistent way to boost your score, you're going to want to merge them heavily over time. The more merges you have, the easier it is to build your score. That being said, you'll want to choose units that are available at 3-star, and those will be the easiest units to acquire and build over time. You want to primarily use melee, armored, and infantry units. However, if you have a high base stat total unit on your team, you can naturally make up the slack with a lower base stat total unit on your team as well. Flyer paired with armor units is a very common strategy that I see in the higher tier arena. Mounted healers require the heaviest investment to reach a high score, but this has less to do with their base stat total and more to do with their limited skill pool. So, gonna summarize and recap. For tier 20, you need to be ranked 6,000 and up, 3670 overall score with 734 per battle. Pick units available at 3-star. Give your units tier 2 skills or higher and invest in Grand Hero Battle units. To make it into tier 21, you need to be ranked 4,000 and up with a 3730 overall score. To stay in tier 21, you need to be ranked 1,500 and up with a 3765 overall score. And to clarify, you want to go a little bit higher than 3765 because 3765 was like right at the cutoff point. It was really close to the bottom. The skill tier list, arena score calculator, and a few sample teams are in the description. If you have any questions regarding this video, or something you wish to see in a future video, leave a comment down below. If you learned anything from this video, like the video, share it with your friends, like the Facebook page listed in the description, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to stay notified of all future videos. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.